I first realized we were running a business versus a practice probably around employee number 20. That's when we really had to start thinking about having multiple teams fitting under the overall Plancorp team. We had to focus on things like management, training and development, and making sure that we were really focused on process to make sure clients were getting the best client experience we could offer them. A catalyst that required significant change to our business strategy was really when we started to think about our succession planning. Jeff Buckner, the founder of our company and still chairman of our company and a great mentor to me over the years, really led this charge early on, about 10 years ago, when he recognized, along with his other partners, that succession planning was going to be a process that was going to take multiple years. And they brought me into those conversations fairly early on, so that was a major change in my career, but it was also a major change for the business in terms of how we viewed things with a kind of a longer lens and thinking about how we were going to have a repeatable process to bring other employees into the equity ownership. Advice for peers who are at major inflection points, I would say first, it's really critical to have a laser focus on what your end game is, what you're trying to achieve in your career and in your life. And if you do that, you really get right with what you're trying to achieve and where you're trying to get to. The details tend to sort themselves out and become pretty straightforward in terms of those detailed decisions. And then as it relates to the business, I would say it's really critical for all of your stakeholders to be on the same page relative to the direction and the vision that you have for the firm. The skills I had as a financial planner, as a wealth manager, some of those translated over to running a company, but others didn't. And so I really sought out through my mentors, trying to identify what areas I needed help in. The decision-making process at Plancorp has definitely evolved over time. When you look at the early days, Jeff Buckner, the founder of the company, clearly he made all the decisions. So soon after I joined the firm, there were actually additional partners that came on. Jeff brought them in immediately into the decision-making process, and they operated very much like a board. They brought me into the decision-making process early on. Not so much that I was the one making decisions, but they were allowing me to voice my opinion and give my feedback directly to them. All of our employees are encouraged to give suggestions regularly. It sits on the home screen of their computer when they log into our system. There's a little hot link to a suggestion box. And we read every one of those suggestions every month at our leadership team meetings. So I think the biggest thing that's changed in my career over time, for when I work directly with clients on a day-to-day basis to now leading the firm and positioning it for growth, is when you're working directly with clients, there's a certain energy you get coming out of a great client meeting. Moving into a leadership team role and focusing on growing the firm for the long term, the big change is that you're not getting that immediate feedback. You have to find that energy from the long-term view and the impact that you're having across the entire firm. But I would say the major passion as a leader of the firm is really focusing on how I can help make the team better. And I think at the end of the day, I know that there's a much bigger multiplier effect focusing on training and developing our people.